on behalf of the owner. You go to the airport. You also go to tour companies. You go to taxi companies like Uber, but also private drivers who are employed to drive. So if you have a fleet of very many vehicles, you'll be looking at, even matatus, you'll be looking at your operating costs and discover it becomes very high. So what will you do? You'll start cutting on the people who depend on those vehicles. So jobs will be lost. At the same time, business growth will be slowed down. The business climate will also go down. So all these measures the president put in place does not work. But remember, before that thing of motor vehicle taxation, there was another very serious proposal which is also on the way. Do you know, Fred, that you've been told to get a new number plate? And when you get a new number plate, you're being told that you pay 3,050 shillings for a new number plate. Number plates are made of aluminium. So they take your aluminium number plate, then they just put like a flag on it, then they return you back your number plate and charge you 3,050. So if changing that is just 50 shillings, means the government is taking 3,000 shillings from every Kenyan. So assuming there are 50, let's say there are 20 million cars in Kenya. Take that one, multiply by 3,000, look at how much money, billions of shillings. So what I'm trying to say is that somebody sitting in State House, just looking and saying, how can I make money? But let's forget about this money. My main question here that Kenyans need to ask, where is this money going? Because if you are taking more money, we should see more government services. But
I think to be agreeing that it will not necessarily result in better collections by the revenue.
Yes, but even if that, then why are you doing it? When you take that money from me, because you can get it from me, forget about those who will be losing their jobs. Why are you taking this money? Because when you take the money from me, I mean, I'm employed today, what services do I get? When you get out of your house, you discover there's no security. You get out of the house, education has collapsed. For example, junior secondary school teachers are on strike, isn't it? Today, as I speak, laboratory technicians are in town with the demonstration because they were not put in that MOU that was signed, isn't it? So which means healthcare has collapsed. And there's a medical doctor. Imagine if you're a medical doctor, there's no medicine in the laboratory, in the pharmacy, isn't it? Lab techs are on strike. What are you doing? Because you're having a patient who cannot be diagnosed in the laboratory and cannot get medication. You become a manager of death because you have to manage your patient to death. The patient is lying there in bed, no diagnosis can be taken in public hospital, no medicine which can be given, but here you are being overtaxed. So the question is, what is this money doing?
Interesting that you raise that and you use the example of what's happening in schools, because the headline of the People Daily talks about a slash of about 15.4 billion shillings on funds intended for the junior secondary school. This same budget proposal that is looking to increase the taxation even on bread and motor vehicles is the same budget that is slashing funds by 15.4 billion shillings. That's debilitating for schools that are already suffering. Junior secondary schools is the same that is facing the crisis where intern teachers have gone on strike for lack of payment. What effects do we feel, do you think will have on the education sector? We're talking about more taxation, better services.
But that is the opposite.